guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Natalia. This video has been something that I have wanted to do for quite a while. It's a question that I get a lot, and I mean a lot. If you know me, then you know that I used to work for Apple. I used to work in a retail store, and it was great. It was actually one of my favorite jobs, but at the same time, it was definitely the hardest position to get in terms of the amount of interviews, the types of questions in the interviews, and Apple is a company that takes who they hire very seriously. For my role in particular, I got hired as a business expert, which is not something that you see pretty much ever. And you don't really see anybody coming in at an expert level, anything role in Apple. So I was very, very honored to get that position. But at the same time, my interview process was hell. I did 5 different interviews. Yes, 5 different interviews over 3 months. When I say that it was no joke, it really wasn't. I wanted to provide you guys with some tips to help you guys get the job. If you are interested in working at an Apple store, then this is the video for you. What I wanted to do was just offer my insight, offer my advice, and I hope that you guys, take it and use it, and I wish you good luck if you're trying to get a job at Apple. But this is also advice that you can apply to pretty much any job. If you're looking to, get a new job, if you're about to interview and you're just looking for basic tips, then this also will work for you. For this video, I've put together 8 tips. These are just things that I took note of during my 3-month 5-interview process with Apple. Let's just go ahead and get started. Now, Apple will typically start their interview process with a group interview for retail roles. For my role, it was different. I actually interviewed with the business manager and the hiring coordinator my first time around. So imagine me, I was doing all this prep in my head, prepping for a group interview, and I got there and it was only me and 2 other people, and the 2 other people were the ones interviewing me. So this first tip is something that you can apply throughout all of your Apple interviews, whether it's a group interview, one-on-one, one-on-two, whatever it turns out to be. And the first tip is to not overdress. So one thing that I've learned about Apple is that they are very, very laid back, and that really translates from the interview process all the way throughout your tenure there. If you go into an Apple store and you look at the uniform, you notice that it's a t-shirt, an Apple t-shirt with the logo, and pretty much anything on the bottom as long as it's not leggings or sweatpants. You can wear jeans, you can wear dresses, you can wear shorts as long as they're a decent length. Come on, ladies. And you can also pretty much wear anything on your feet as well, including sandals, open-toe sandals, which I was very, very happy about. So the reason I say to not overdress is because I've noticed and I've heard several times from people that work there, from people that have interviewed there, that have gone there dressed to a T, their finest suit, their finest dress shirts, all of this, and you really don't need it. While you still want to look presentable, business casual is more the way to go rather than dressed to a T. So even if you wear some dark jeans and a nice button down, or if you wear a nice, appropriate dress, then that will suffice. So business casual, I would say. And you'll notice that, like I said, next time you walk into an Apple store, look at the uniform and you'll see what I'm talking about. The second tip is to know the product. If you start a job at anywhere else, most of the time it's okay to not really know what you're getting yourself into, because they'll teach you. There's lots of training and you have great peers that'll help you along the way. And Apple is 100% like that. Do not get me wrong. The training process is amazing, and it's a few weeks time. So you're going to be learning a lot. But at the same time, you want to go in with a little bit of knowledge. Don't go in there not knowing what an iPhone is. You really want to know the product as best as you can, even if you're not an avid Apple user. I know people that work at Apple that don't own an iPhone or don't own a MacBook, and that's okay. But as long as you're familiar with the product, because guess what? In that first interview, they're gonna ask you. So they may ask you, what's your favorite Apple product? But in my case, they asked me what my favorite app was. And if you get this question, please, I advise you to not say a generic app like Instagram or Facebook, because those are apps that you can use on any different platform. You can use them on Android, you can use them on Apple, you can use them on a Windows phone if you still have that. I would suggest saying something that is exclusive to Apple, whether you're talking about the camera app, the music app, the notes app, something that is exclusive to the Apple product. So if you don't own an Apple product, Google it. That is what the internet is for. Learn about it. Make sure that you're familiar with it, so that way when they ask you, what is your favorite product and why, or what is your favorite app and why, you can give them a thorough and genuine answer because you have learned about it and you're not just talking about something that anyone and everyone can use on any platform. You're being specific to the product. The third tip I have, know your resume. While it's always recommended that you bring a copy of your resume for yourself and for the interviewer, you want to make sure that you know it like the back of your hand. Because I did 5 different interviews, I must have gotten the same questions like 500 times. It even got to a point where I was like, Jesus Christ, am I interviewing for Tim Cook's spot? You really want to be able to describe your current position or past positions really, really thoroughly and clearly. And you also want to relate it to the position that you're applying for. So I didn't just apply for business expert out of nowhere because I saw it on the website and it sounded cool. I actually had experience with the company that I was working with prior to Apple in a business sales position. And so I used everything that I learned in that position and brought it to the table. I laid it all out there and I related it to what I was applying for. You really want to sound like you're the right fit for that position. So even if you're applying for a generic sales position, which at Apple is called Product Zone Specialist, you want to bring to the table any sales experience that you have. Apple is huge on building relationships and building experiences for customers because amongst anything, they know that customers are going to walk in the door and they already know what they want. They don't need you to convince them or to sell it to them. They already know what they want. It's the experience that you lay out for them. It's the difference between them going to apple.com and purchasing a product or coming to see you. The fourth tip I have is know yourself. The reason that I say this is because Apple loves people who do things outside of Apple. During my second interview, one of the questions that I got was, what do I do outside of work, or what do I do in my free time? And I kid you not, as soon as I mentioned that I have a YouTube channel and I make videos, the entire rest of the interview was about that. Apple loves people that are passionate about things. And I kid you not, like I'm so serious when I say that everyone at Apple pretty much does something outside of Apple. There are tons of actors, musicians, artists, you name it, YouTube creators, you name it, they are there at Apple. And Apple just loves finding people that are passionate about things because then they feel like they can really train you and rely on you to be passionate about their product. Another reason that talking about my YouTube channel really helped me was because I use Apple products clearly to help edit and upload my videos. And so Apple products play a huge part in my life. If the same goes for you, whether you're a graphic designer and you're designing on the Mac, or you're a DJ or musician and you're recording or DJing, mixing music, whatever, like make sure you talk about that stuff because they want to know that you're passionate. Again, passion is huge in the Apple community and you really want to display that and display that you are not only passionate about this stuff, but you can be passionate about their products and their customers as well. The fifth tip I have is to be laid back. Going back to the first tip about not overdressing and stuff and me mentioning how laid back Apple is, I'm not kidding. Like, you can wear hats at Apple. You can, like, seriously, the culture is insane, and that's why it was honestly one of my favorite places to work. And you just want to be laid back. Try to relax, take everything in and know everything that you have to offer, and be confident, which leads into the next tip. The sixth tip is be confident. Apple loves when you're able to confidently speak about yourself, speak about the product, get to know people, and you feel confident and comfortable in certain situations like an interview or like talking to a big boss. They want to know that you're the type of person that can fit that situation. So try to be as laid back and as confident as you can because you know that you're the shit, okay? So you know that you're great and you definitely deserve this position. So make sure that you show that, you display that. Try not to be too overbearing. Again, that's where the laid back portion comes in, but laid back and confidence, just mesh them together and make them have a nice baby and just do it. The seventh tip I have is to ask good questions. In any interview, this is like a basic interview 101. You want to make sure that you have questions prepped for the end of the interview. It is never a good idea to walk into an interview unprepared with any questions, because that question will always come up at the end of an interview. Do you have any questions for me? One of the questions that I would stay away from, as good as it may sound, is what does the growth path look like, or what, can I grow in 6 months or a year? Apple is the type of company, it's hard to say, but like, you will most likely start one level down than what you previously were at your outside job or at your other job, if that makes sense. So Apple really likes to make sure that the person coming in understands the product, understands the culture more than anything. And so, you don't want to jump ahead too much. Like, really make sure that you let them know that you're there to learn your position, learn your new role, and be the best person that you can be in that role. And so asking questions about the company culture, what's the company culture like? Or asking about what opportunities are there currently on your team that you think I may be able to help with. Or another good question is like, what is the vision for Apple Retail within the next few years or next 5 years? Make sure that it's questions that pertain to the current state of the business and what you can possibly do to help advance that. Or, like you're trying to just learn more general facts about the business, like company culture and stuff. Again, I would probably stay away from growth questions, even though that's something that you can totally ask once you get the job. But for the interview process, I would probably stay away from that. My last tip, number 8, is to be patient. Like I said, my interview process took 3 months. Literally, I applied in August, didn't hear back till like the end of September, and then went all the way, didn't get hired until the very end of December, started in January. So it was no joke. But the reason I say to be patient is because sometimes I would go weeks without hearing anything back, and I would be really nervous. I'd be like, crap, did I blow it? I didn't get it. They're not going to call me. They're not going to email me. And so you really want to be patient, and also pay attention to your email, because Apple doesn't call unless they're job offering you. They will email. They'll email to advance you to the next round, or they'll email to tell you that they're not going to move you forward. So pay attention to your email, because that's huge. But really be patient. Like, be confident in yourself, going back to one of my last points, and know that you did well and you deserve it. Don't be overbearing. Don't bombard them like, am I in? Am I in? Are you taking me? Are you taking me? Like, be patient. There was one time that I did have to email them, because like I said, it was like 2 or 3 weeks that I didn't hear back, and I was like, hey, can you let me know, like, am I moving forward or whatnot? And I want to say an hour later, the hiring coordinator wrote back, and he said, hey, I'm so sorry, so-and-so's on vacation, we are moving you forward. But that's another little sneaky trick too. If they go a long time without reaching back out to you, it's kind of a good thing, because they're very quick with their decisions. If they're not going to advance you, they'll most likely let you know the very next day, or, very shortly after your last interview. So if they do go a long time, that could be a good sign. That is it, guys. Those are my tips for getting a job at Apple. If you guys are applying, or if you work for Apple, have worked for Apple, anything, let me know in the comments down below, because I love talking about Apple. Apple's such a great company, and it's a company that I truly believe in. I think that out of all my jobs, I believed in Apple the most. Sorry, hope none of my old bosses or anyone are watching. Good luck to you if you are trying, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this on my channel, if you want to see more content from me. And don't forget to follow me on my other social media outlets. That's Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, because when I'm not here, I'm there. So let me know. Okay, guys? Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.